My first question is, can you tell us a little bit what is the reason behind this uprising in the Nepal?
Generation Z's uprising that started. It's the third day of their protest that started yesterday, and the day before was the day of very, very violent circumstances that we went through here in Nepal. So the protest basically started with the anti-corruption. It's actually an anti-corruption protest. What the Gen Z says is the same faces, the same politicians are running the government each and every time, and they want some change. And also the protest is targeted to the Nepo kids. The Nepo kids here means the sons and daughters of those politicians or who have the power, who are the privileged ones who are taking advantages. The kids have been taking advantage of their parents' power and privilege to access all the resources of the state that the states provides us. And while the one side the Nepo kids are there, living a lavish lifestyle without paying any, without having any accountability towards the state. However, one chunk of the people there are who are still struggling to make a living or maybe to secure their future. Either they are going abroad or struggling to find a job back home. That is the main reason why the campaign of the movement has started of the Gen Zs.
Nepal is now political uncertainty, so we know. So what is the current situation there?
Current situation, yeah, today is a little bit calmer day since 2 days of after 2 days of chaos. On the first day, the violence, it was very, very violent day where what began as a peaceful protest of the Gen Z protesters that took to a violent turn, and the police used force against them. There was confrontation between the protesters and the police that resulted to the deaths of 19 people, and more than 300 were injured. And following the day yesterday, that took after the deaths of those people, the protesters were more violent, and they started targeting the government ministers and the political leaders. They burned down the houses, took away things from the houses, and a very, very chaotic and violent situation was there yesterday. And in the afternoon yesterday, the Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli tendered his resignation. And also after the resignation of the Prime Minister, the situation could not calm down till 4 to 5 hours until Nepal Army took control of the security situation at about 10 at night yesterday. And since then, the situation has relatively calmed down, but there have been some instances of violence and looting and arson from across the country. And another turn that the protest has took into is the massive jailbreak of the prisoners. The prisoners in many parts of the country have been breaking and creating chaos in the prison and have started coming after the prison. And the situation was all in chaotic throughout the day, especially in the prisons all across the country. For today and yesterday, it was all chaotic. The government ministers' houses were targeted, ministerial palace, even the parliament was burned down into ashes. So the major administrative hub in Singadarbar, where the government's functioning were done, and all the ministries were there in the premises, all those have been turned into ruins due to those protests.